Good evening. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting. As we speak, Treasury Consulting is a Singapore-based multinational headquartered group. Professionally speaking, we are a multi-asset and multinational hedge fund, but prop, which means no third party can invest capital in our funds. Please take a note of that. Today, early morning, 10th November 2022, when I was doing my research on Google, because you know that every day I spare at least 1 hour on my research on Google. I will see what are the various news we have, what are the various links we have, what are the various updates we have on banking, IT companies, and all these things. I got the information that Barclays and Citibank are also cutting the jobs. And according to the article on Forbes, one of the leading information platform, Forbes, Barclays is cutting around 200 jobs while Citi is cutting around 50 jobs. Which precisely means that both Barclays and Citi are joining the league of various banks, which includes Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo, Credit Suisse, UBS, and various other banks. We all understand that banking is currently moving from a very tough phase, because banks are sitting on trillion of dollars of derivatives. Trillion. And central banks are hiking rates after every policy meeting, which effectively means the banks are taking a huge mark-to-market exposure in their books. We have just seen in England when the pension system almost broke. And Bank of England forced to came in the market and bought a very heavy quantity of the bonds. Because the scene was really difficult at that point of time. And even around a couple of days ago, Bank of England Governor Mr. Bailey made it very clear that the hikes would continue and our target is on inflation. Banks are sitting on 4 categories of derivatives from an accounting standpoint, not from the foreign exchange standpoint, that is separate. Number 1 is the trading. Number 2 is the cash flow. Number 3 is the fair value. And number 4 is the net investment hedging. Because accounting wise, only these 4 are possible. 5th category is not possible. And if the central banks would continue to hike the rate the way they are hiking now, it precisely means that the banking industry worldwide to face trillions worth of MTM in upcoming time. I spent 9.5 years in treasury function, interact with multiple banks. Even today, I am interacting with multiple banks. And I'm telling you right now, like I said in 2018 about SoftBank, you know what is happening with SoftBank. I told 4 or 5 months ago about FTX and various other predictions. One or more hike, one or more mega hike, that would be an appropriate word. And the banks are in deep red internally. I repeat, internally. And banks would be compensating this by cutting the jobs. They left with no other options to handle this mess. Guys, a big blow is coming in the bank balance sheets. Big blow is coming in the bank balance sheet. And I am telling you right away, this is not a demand side inflation. This is a supply side equation and worsening. Ukraine producing 45 million metric tons worth of quantity of wheat, and rest is separate. Today, out of 45 million metric tons, quantity of wheat is completely missed in the market thanks to Russia-Ukraine war. Ukraine is a leading producer of fertilizers, and these fertilizers are also not in the market. And if you are thinking, you means at least four people: Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, Bank of England, and Reserve Bank of Canada. If you are thinking by hiking the rate, you would be able to tame the inflation, then effective 2008 and even before, central bank never took any judicious decision. Banks are cutting, and you know that Credit Suisse clearly said they would be cutting 9,000 jobs. 9,000 jobs. This is what I would like to say. The day is not far when the trading desk of banks could be supporting the client, could be supporting the prop. They would be in big trouble because the bonds. Now, let me give you a simplistic example. I have Japanese yen position. Today, on 10th November, only on one news, Japanese yen fell from 147 to 142. Congratulations. 147 to 142. Five big figures. And I'm talking about the banks who buy millions of lots. They don't buy thousands, they buy millions of lots. Spot price down by five big figures only on one news. What does that mean? This means heavy losses to banks. And I have only discussed USD JPY. What about the crosses? Canadian dollar to JPY, JPY to Australian dollar, GBP to JPY, Euro to JPY, Swiss franc to JPY, Singapore dollar to JPY, and the list is enormous. And the ECNs, electronic communication networks, they are holding almost all crosses. Today, their PNL on 10th November, when Japanese yen fluctuate from 147 to 142, 5 big figures is like this. Pendulum. Huge losses. And how would they be justifying this? They cannot justify that. Why? A news came and market swings. FTX, crypto exchange news is already there in the market. And because of this, crypto investors lost heavily. And FTX is practically moving towards bankruptcy. So in short, the job cuts would continue because the stupidity of the central banks would continue. This is Rahul Magan from Treasury Consulting Group. You knew my personal number, +91 9899 242 978. I repeat, +91 9899 242 978. If you wish to have more information, you can visit our fixed income platform www.fixedincome.global. Talk soon.